if I'm looking at this one, I can see one apple and one pear adds up to 200, and then because they're splitting 100 into fives, it's going to be going up in 20, so 220, 240, 260. So one apple and one pear makes 260 grams. On this one, I got two apples, which means there's an extra apple, and one pear, and that one makes 300, 320, 340, 360, 380 grams. Which means there's an extra apple, because the pears are exactly the same, okay? There's an extra apple being placed there, which means if I do 380 take away 260, okay, that makes 120 grams. So the extra apple is the difference between them. So that means that my apple has got to be 120 grams. Once I've got an apple, to find a pear, the apple and the pear make 260. So the pear plus 120 is going to make that 260. So the pear is going to be 260, take away 120, which is 140 grams. Question number 9. When you're working out electricity bills, first thing you need to do is work out the number of units used. The meter reading continuously ticks over, so to work out the units used, you do the difference between the meter readings. So 4,703. So for this step here, you're doing 4,703, take away 3,425. Okay, and the answer to that when you do it is 1,278 units used. You then, because each unit is 18.5 pence, you multiply the number of units used by them units, but by the price of each unit. But because the units are in pence, to change it into pounds, you have to divide that answer by 100. Because when you type that in, you're doing 1278 multiplied by 18.5. That comes up as 23,643. That's going to be not going to be that in terms of pounds for an electricity bill. So you divide it by 100 to turn it back into pounds, and that comes up as £236.43. You then find 5%. Like earlier on the paper in question 1, easiest way to you can either divide by 100 and times by 5, or to find 5% you can do 0.05 times the amount, so £236.43. So if I'm timesing that by 0.05, the VAT is £11.82. So to work out the total charge including VAT, okay, you've got £236.43, and then you add on the VAT because that's an extra charge you have to pay. So I'm going to be doing £236.43 plus £11.82, and that comes up as £248.25. Alright, you then also owe them £12.46. So because you owe £12.46, you then add these two to get the final amount. So I got £248.25 plus £12.46, which comes in as £260.71. Right, they wish to pay in 3 equally monthly payments. How much should each of these payments be? Give your answer correct to the nearest penny. So the amount, I've left the full amount into my calculator, as we've worked it through, and I rounded it to 71 pence. Because I want to pay it in 3 months, I'm going to divide that answer by 3. And when I divide that answer in 3, it's going to be £86.90, okay? So the answer to that question, when you divide £260.71 divided by 3, it comes up as £86.90. Okay, question number 10, a scatter graph going across, okay, represents the age of a scooter, and going up is the price of the scooter. So what this means, this one is half a year old and it's worth £500. This scooter is 1 year old and it's worth 420. Right, the scale is, Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 100 divided by 5 is 20. So going up in 20. So it'll be 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 450. Right, write the price of the new scooter. A new scooter is going to be 0 years old. So I'm going to go up from 0, and it's that value there. So it's 600, 620, 640, 660 pounds. The oldest scooter is 4 years old, and the price of that one is £120. Right, when you're drawing a line of best fit, it's got to be a straight line, and it's got to go roughly through the middle of the point, okay? So if I was drawing that, I would probably do something like that, because that means I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points below, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points above the line. So that'd be a good estimate. Correlation, 3 types of correlation. This one, when it's a downwards trend, is called a negative correlation. If it was an upwards trend, it'd be a positive, and if they were all over the place, it'd be no correlation. And estimate the price of a 2.5-year-old, the same make and model. So I'm going to go in the middle of 2 and 3. I'm going to draw a line up to make it easier so I don't make a mistake. I'm going to draw a line straight across. It's coming out straight as £300. Question number 11. Stephen and Gwen are playing a game using 4 discs with a positive whole number on each disc. The discs are placed in the bag. Stephen selects a disc at random. He writes down the number on the disc and replaces it in the bag. Gwen now does the same, and then they add together the 2 numbers they obtained. If a number adds up to an even number, then Stephen wins. Otherwise, Gwen wins. The numbers on the disc are 1, 3, 5 and 6. Who is more likely to win? If I was this, I would probably do it in a 2-way table. So I would do a little table. I'd have the numbers going down on one of the people. So let's take the 1, and then numbers going across. So I've got a 1, a 3, a 5, a 6, a 1, a 3, a 5 and a 6. And then what I would do is I would fill in and work out the totals. You can either put the numbers in there, or you can write even and odd for the total. Okay, so if I'm doing this one, going down, 1 add 1, 1 add 1 makes a total of 2, which is even. 1 add 3 is 4, which is even. 1 add 5 is 6, which is even. 1 add 6 is 7, which is odd. 3 add 1 is 4, which is even. 3 add 3 is 6, which is even. 3 add 5 is 8, which is even. 3 add 6 is 9, which is odd. 5 add 1 is 6, which is even. 5 add 3 is 8, which is even. 5 add 5 is 10, which is even. 5 add 6 is 11, which is odd. 6 add 1 is 7, which is odd. 6 add 3 is 9, which is odd. 6 add 5 is 11, which is odd. 6 add 6 is 12, which is even. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got 10 even, which means I got 6 odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 odd. Alright, so who is more likely to win the game? Okay, Stephen wins if it's even. So Stephen is likely to win. Right, part B. The numbers on the discs are changed as shown below. Is this game fair? Give full details of your reasoning. Right, if I was doing this one now, you've got the numbers. I'm going to do the same way, same thing. 1, 2, 4 and 6. 1, 2, 4 and 6. 1 add 1 makes 2, which is even. 1 add 2 is 3, which is odd. 1 add 4 makes 5, which is odd. 1 add 6 is 7, which is odd. Going across now. 1 add 2 is 3, which is odd. 2 add 2 is 4, which is even. 2 add 4 is 6, which is even. 2 add 6 is 8, which is even. 1 add 5 is 4 add 5, which is odd. 4 add 2 is 6, which is even. 4 add 4 is 8, which is even. 6 add 4 is 10, which is even. 1 add 6 is 7, which is odd. 2 add 6 is 8, which is even. 4 add 6 is 10, which is even. 6 add 6 is 12, which is even. So I've got 3, 6, 9. Again, I got 10 even and 6 odd. So it's not fair. Oops, sorry. so it's not fair. So I did the same thing. I made a little table up, and when I made the table up to see if it worked, okay, you could see then that 10 of my answers came up as even and 6 odd, so it's not fair. Right, choose 4 numbers of your own to make the game is fair. The only way you're going to be able to do it is to go for 2 even and for 2 odd. Any 2 even and any 2 odd will work out as being fair. Okay. So an example could be 1, 2, 3, and 4. That would give me a fair answer. Okay. So all you need to know is, okay, because you'd have the even and the odds would make an odd, the even and the even would make an even, okay, and the odd would make an even. And if you did a table, you'd find out that the rule is 2 even and 2 odd numbers. All right, so any 2 even and any 2 odd numbers. Okay, which I could show you on the table.